Well, good afternoon, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don back in here with you. It is Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. It is 12:04 p.m. Central, and we have an update for you as we're watching Alabama and Georgia for the potential of strong to severe thunderstorms this afternoon. We're getting word from the Storm Prediction Center that they are coordinating a new tornado watch with the local offices across Alabama and Georgia, and we are told that this new tornado watch is going to cover that area across South Alabama that hasn't seen very much convective activity so far this afternoon, and that watch is going to extend up into the Tuscaloosa and Birmingham area and then over to the Talladega and Clay County line. Now, we have not seen the graphic on this new watch just yet. It is in the process of being developed by the National Weather Service, so it'll take a few minutes for this to come out and populate on our map, but we would anticipate the watch looking something like probably, if I had to guess, something like so. Oh, there it comes. So let me just take my artwork off the screen there. I was close. That's not bad for guessing. So there we have the brand new tornado watch that has just been issued by the National Weather Service. Now, let me clear the screen off here, and then we'll bring the map current. And there's your new tornado watch that's just been issued. So in East Alabama, this new tornado watch does include the counties of, in the Dr. Don coverage area, Talladega, Clay, Tallapoosa, Coosa, and Elmore County. Of course, we also pay attention to Central Alabama, Chilton County, Autauga County, Montgomery, and Lowndes. But that's where your new tornado watch has just been posted by the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center, and the watch is going to be let's see if we can get a time on this. Bear with me, this is just coming out, so it's going to take a second to get this information. Let's see. Okay, it's valid until 6 p.m. this afternoon. So that's from now until 6 p.m. Central Time this afternoon. Brand new tornado watch for portions of Alabama, including the far western counties of East Alabama that we pay attention to here on Dr. Don's Weather. So what does this mean? What does a tornado watch mean? It simply means that conditions are favorable for the formation of strong to severe thunderstorms and possibly a tornado or two within the watch area, within and close to the watch area. So I can tell you that all of East Alabama should pay attention to this. Even you folks in Randolph and Chambers and Lee that maybe are not involved in this tornado watch, you're close. You're adjacent to the tornado watch. So you should pay attention to it as well. Trust me, Mother Nature doesn't know anything about watch boxes, jurisdiction, political jurisdictions, state lines, county lines, cities. Mother Nature doesn't have a clue and could care less. So we're just telling you that inside of that purple area, that's where the conditions are most favorable. Doesn't mean that's the only place we could potentially see a tornado or two later on this afternoon. So right now we have nothing severe out there. We have a couple of stronger thunderstorms that we're keeping an eye on just to the northeast of Clanton, one just west and southwest of Montgomery, one down there around Jackson, Alabama, and then that line of thunderstorms just to the east of Columbus, Mississippi that stretches back down to around Meridian, and then another line from about Hattiesburg to Bogalusa, and then back down to around Morgan City, Louisiana. So far, at the moment, at this hour, there are no warnings out there, no special weather statements. But we think as the afternoon goes along, this area inside of that purple box, we could see some of these thunderstorms go severe and potentially could produce a tornado or two. Here are the probabilities of 2 or more tornadoes, about 40%. Probability of 1 or more strong tornadoes, EF2 to EF5, only about 20%. Probability of 10 or more severe wind events at about 30%. Probability of 1 or more wind events greater than 65 knots, about 5%. Probability of 10 or more severe hail events is 20%. Probability of 6 or more combined severe hail wind events at 50%. So even odds that we could see some strong thunderstorms with severe hail and some pretty strong winds, as well as the possibility of a tornado or two inside of that purplish pink box that you see there on the screen at this hour. So let me see if I can get the chat room up, and if so, we'll see if anybody has any questions or comments. Again, this being a little out of the ordinary today, this storm system moving through during the day. And so we're broadcasting from our remote position at the White County Public Safety Complex in northeast Georgia, watching Alabama and Georgia. And so we are not going to stay wall to wall with this unless we get something that's life-threatening, and then, of course, we'll be right here with you. So looking in the chat room, Stephanie making a comment about she's hoping that this watch doesn't get extended into West Georgia. Yeah, it's a big question mark right now. This is a very marginal setup, folks. This is not going to be a major severe weather outbreak. We're not looking at, multiple large damaging thunderstorms with tornadoes here. But, all it takes is one. If we have one tornado and it forms in your front yard, then this would be a major severe weather outbreak for you, would it not? So it only takes one. That's why we're here, not trying to hype anything, and I don't think everybody deals with severe weather today. And quite frankly, there's a decent chance that nobody deals with severe weather. We did have that wind event that rode out I-20 earlier this morning that caused a lot of tree damage, and I'm seeing a fair amount of structure damage from those trees that fell up there. But we're not looking at a significant red-letter severe weather day across Alabama. Could this watch get pushed further east later on this afternoon for the remainder of East Alabama and for our West Georgia counties? Absolutely, that's a possibility. We'll just kind of watch this thing together and see how it develops and see if there is a need to push it any further east. And if so, then the Weather Service will take care of that. Cragford, Alabama. Hey, Chrissy. Angie's watching us. Thank you, Angie. And Kim Tate's in there. Lightning, right this moment, the lightning output is pretty low. But as the afternoon goes along and these storms start to intensify, I think we'll see that change. There is no severe weather out there right now. But we're thinking that in the next hour or two, some of these storms could grow stronger and could start to produce some severe weather. And, of course, as that happens, then the lightning intensity will increase as well. Actually, Stephanie, that first event this morning did not fizzle out. You were blessed that you didn't get any of it. The strongest part of that line this morning was just along and north of I-20. Now, the same line The southern end, the southern extent of that line moved through the rest of East Alabama and West Georgia. That part of the line wasn't severe. But along the I-20 corridor and north for about 2 or 3 counties, as that line moved from Birmingham all the way east of Atlanta, it was severe. And there are a lot of trees down up there that caused some pretty significant structural damage to some homes. We even had damage reported in downtown Atlanta when that thing moved through. Well, these are developing storms, Miss Kim, and let's see if we can get you. First of all, I'll put it in motion. The individual storms are moving off to the northeast while the entire line or system is migrating to the east. And we're going to look at a couple of different things here. I'm going to switch over to the NextRad Pro, and we're going to go grab Birmingham. Let's see here. There's Montgomery. There's Birmingham. Take just a second for this to populate. And we'll turn the cells on. Let's see if it's going to populate. Sometimes this radar is a little bit cantankerous. All right, let's just start this over. How you like my bunny rabbit? Pretty cool, huh? I'll just bear with me. I'm doing this live, trying to see if we can get the radar shot to come up, and it's just not working. All right, so we will go back to the composite. There we go. I'll work on that when we're off air. I was going to try to get you a direction on it. You have to get a storm center to be able to get a good reading on the forward motion. But most of the storms are running around 30 to 35 miles per hour off to the northeast. So you got one little. This is not severe, well below severe limits, but heavy rainfall moving up into southern Talladega, Childersburg, Sylacauga. That'll move across southwestern Clay. The southern end of that could potentially get over into south central Clay, eastern Coosa, maybe the Alexander City area of Tallapoosa. And then look below that, we'll see these storms developing down here. That's what would end up here in Wadley, probably in the next hour or so. And then you have scattered thunderstorms behind that, and then another, I think what's going to end up being the final push, still back in West Alabama, eastern Mississippi, that'll be through here a little later on this afternoon. What about Noonan? What about Noonan? What do you want me to tell you about Noonan? You're east of the line of thunderstorms, so it hasn't gotten to you, obviously, but they're moving that way. Nuna not involved in the tornado watch. This watch is only for those counties you see in the purple color there across southwest and up into central and western east central Alabama. This line of thunderstorms will continue to grow. It will continue moving to the east, and it will eventually move through the Newnan area. Yeah, I see you, Will. Unfortunately, I'm in my remote studio, so I don't have the Dr. Don What About horn with me to be able to do that. But welcome to the What About Club there, Sunshine. You need to make sure you go over to the Dr. Don Weather Store and get you a What About t-shirt. We've got them in Georgia as well. We have the What About shirts with the Georgia map on the front of them. Oh, Will, you did it too. I'm looking back up the chain now. I see you. Mm-hmm. Lynette and West Point. Well, let's see. Lynette and West Point. Where would they be on the map? Let's see if we can find Lynette and West Point. Oh, wow, look, there's Lynette. So your line of thunderstorms is over here coming through central Alabama, moving to the east. Hadn't got to you yet, but they're on the way. We'll be in there a little later on this afternoon. You are not covered by the tornado watch at the moment. That could change. Weather Service can certainly migrate this watch further to the east as the line of storms moves to the east, but right now nothing in your immediate area. You're probably a couple of hours away from seeing anything in Lynette and West Point. Again, folks, this is not a major severe weather setup. We're not looking for a large number of severe storms here, but there could be a handful of storms that go severe, so we're keeping an eye on it. If you're upstream from this line of storms that's developing in central Alabama, it will eventually move through your area. As to what it's going to look like when it gets to 123 ABC Street, there's absolutely no way I can tell you that. If I could, then I wouldn't have to worry about my daytime job. I'd be yours 24/7, 365. But that's not the way this works. I can't tell you what it's going to look like in LaGrange in 2 hours. I can generally tell you that this line of thunderstorms will move through LaGrange this afternoon, but it's just impossible to tell you what it's going to do on your front porch. This storm that's coming up through Coosa beginning to take on a classic severe look, though there's absolutely nothing issued by the Weather Service on this storm at the moment. I do want to go in a little bit closer and would really like to get the next rad working here. Stand by while I do a little bit of maintenance. See if that makes any difference. does. All right, so now let's take a look at the wind velocity on this storm. And looking at it from Birmingham, I don't see anything there. Let's look at it from Montgomery. Yeah, so the wind velocity looks fine on this. I don't see any reason to be concerned at all about it. We'll go back to the velocity. You can see the, actually on the Nextrad Pro, it doesn't look as well defined as it does over on the composite. But still, respectable storm there. All right, so we're going to keep an eye on this for you. Just basically wanted to update everybody that we are now under a tornado watch across southwest and central Alabama of the Dr. Don coverage area. It does include Coosa, Tallapoosa, Talladega, Coosa, Elmore, and it does make it down into the Prattville, Montgomery area as well. Does not include Cleburne, Calhoun, so Jacksonville, Anniston, Oxford, even over into Cleburne County, you're not under this watch. Randolph, Chambers, Lee, not under this watch, and all of our West Georgia counties, obviously, are not covered under this watch either. This could get moved a little further east later on today. We'll see how the storms behave. The current watch is in effect until 6 p.m. this afternoon. We'll keep a close eye on this for you, and if we get anything severe or anything life-threatening, of course, we'll be right back, and we'll continue with our coverage here on Dr. Don's Weather. Thanks for joining us for live severe weather coverage from Dr. Don's Weather.